imagine a humanity declaration?
There needs to be something in the category though, doesn't
Okay. So this is the famous, the Japanese emperor declared that he is human at the end of World War II.
No.
If you go to the Wikipedia page, that has a link back to Wikisource. I don't remember what the official name of the document is different. This was Wikisource.
Over here, there's nothing filthy. We've had a vandal recently who's just been putting porn images onto our site. It's been lovely. Just log on and just sees porn image staring at you in the face. So what's here?
Humanity declaration. And I'm pretty sure Andy will have a link to the source. There you go, full text that we stripped, external link. Is that in?
Is it ours?
No.
Pretty sure.
We can steal it.
Yeah, we can steal it.
But look, I mean, that's the sort of thing. So
Yeah.
we do it. Because translations is a specific skill, but we've got some people translating some of the Jewish religious texts going through. We've had some people working on bits of the Quran going through.
There's a translation of the Bible happening.
So.
And has been for, I think it's one of the first translations ever done, the Quran and the Bible, was started 2005-ish. And there's some really good work done on the Bible one, where they'll get the original Latin, well, not the original, but Latin and Greek from the early writings, and use that to make commentary on which words should be selected. So it's very much a meeting of the mind. It's not a lot of people involved, but because it's very laissez-faire, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. I can't say it'll be a great translation, but yeah.
But why don't you put on translations that are already existing of the Bible?
We do as well.
Okay.
If you go to Bible, I think there's...
Because the Bible obviously has been translated.
Yeah, it's been done a few times.
Actually, the reason I was
Because we let people do what they like.
That's a very good way of summarising.
We try. People have interest, and we like to encourage and foster interest. So some things take longer.
Well, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, they can just do another translation. Maybe
So
it's
the reason
right.
I was asking about the one earlier is because that document actually there was an official translation of it from the Japanese into English,
Okay.
but the actual official translation was not exactly the same text and meaning as the Japanese one. And there's been a lot of debate ever since about like how this actually should be translated, and if the two documents actually match and so on.
Yep.
So if you actually crowdsource the translation of the document, it's actually original research in a sense because it's not an exact.
Yeah.
We don't mind the original research, and we also wouldn't mind having two translations if they have a different purpose. But it has to be articulated. That, this is the literal translation. This is a modernisation translation. That type of distinction has to be there. Otherwise, we
I
don't.
think one of the things we can actually. I'm just trying to get some of the
One of the good ones is the Three Kingdoms.
language. The
Chinese, Japanese,
Chinese original.
Chinese. Yeah.
There's also, I don't know if you've got his poems.
Yeah, Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Gao ties,
Okay. Now, this project was started by one person, and they abandoned it after about 2 years. And this is the only thing they worked on for 2 years. And then probably it lapsed for maybe 3. And then someone has recently started picking it up. And this is a type of approach all the way through. Now, every single one of these is a link over to a Wiktionary, where there's the extra information.
And I think one of the things we actually now, I mean, it's going to depend on work for work, but whereas into Wiki, we can actually even look at things, someone side by side, what's been done. It's not going to work out very thin screen, but there's the work in where we're doing that Vietnamese, was it?
Chinese.
There's a whole lot of things we can actually do. So actually do things, stuff comparison side by side into Wiki. So it may not be, it may be our translation, it may be somebody else's translation, but they've done that into Wiki of a word. So you can sometimes see the Shakespeare in the English and the Russian.
The problem we've got there at the moment is resynchronizing paragraphs, because often, Chinese is a great example. If you have an English and a Chinese, you've got more lines in the Chinese than you will in the English. So how to resync those paragraphs is it's not really a difficult problem, it's just something that hasn't been done. But that will then mean that we can align the two so that reading them both parallel will make sense, whereas at the moment you've got them on those.
Do the Arabic pages go the other way?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. So the one is, the whole purpose really here is, it's not to be a contiguous reference, it's the ability to be able to have a reference online that you can link to. And I suppose where we see over Project Gutenberg and things like that is the ability to interwiki